Hey everybody, it's your old pal Simply Super Dave coming at you with another episode of Staying Super with Simply Super Dave. How redundant is that? Anyway, I know the last podcast was a little depressing. I'm sorry about that, but I've always told you I was going to keep it real, being honest, and just tell you what's on my mind. I love this world that we live in. I really do. You know what? And I love being an American. I love living in this country. I love the idea that I'm a free man in this world of craziness. I mean, really, it's fucking crazy. Isn't it out there, folks? I mean, come on. I mean, it's like we're preparing for alien invasions and pandemics all at the same time, all while watching an economy crash and burn around us. Do you hear the train coming? I don't know. Does it? It'll get closer. Well, if you hear the train rolling through, that's a good symbolic thing, because I feel like that's what's happening right now. I feel like right now we're just getting rammed to death by the politicians that run this country. Well, actually, you know what? Politicians don't run this country, actually. You think the American people do. And you know what? The American people do. We'll get into that in a second. Oh, I guess that was the last horn. I was waiting for one more lay on. I love living near a train track, even considering all the derailments that have been happening. I guess I shouldn't be too excited about that. But anyway, nonetheless, I really started thinking about things the other day, and I went and bought some dog food. Went up $3 a bag. I remember when the chicken strips went up $4 a bag. The personal single-serve salads you can buy at a fresh market at a dollar store, for example, I think they went up $1 just recently. I know my 1-liter Sprites that I get, I used to pay $1.25 for. I'm paying over $2 for now. This is all within just a year. You know, they were already kind of going up anyway, and I just wonder, when are y'all gonna finally get tired of this shit? When are y'all gonna wake up? When are you gonna realize that it's not a supply and demand issue? Supply and demand issue means smaller stores, because you can't carry as much product, especially considering online kind of handles a lot of things. The grocery business should tell you a lot. But then when you walk around and you see like just the amount of shit in a store, and if one shelf is empty, everybody's like, oh, the shelves are empty. No, there's so many other shelves full of shit. And it's continuously coming in pallet by pallet per store across. I mean, just think about it. You look at one grocery store, but then you realize there's 5 of them on that street. And then when you really look across the country and how many there are, you're thinking about yourself, and you're thinking to yourself, that's a lot of product. There's not a supply and demand problem. So there's no really reason for inflation. It's just, you know what? Here it is, folks. And I know this is some fucking honest truth right here. It is simply about corporate greed, in the essence of thinking about it like this. We're always competitive. We want to, if you do this, you want to do better the next time, right? So if you have record profits, you want to try to at least equal or do better than them. And when you can't top 1 year, I mean, like everyone's going to have a bad year, or there's always going to be that 1 year greater than the other years, but it'll never be like that again. But if you falsely push it to achieve it, there's always going to be a back blow down the road, and we're in that back blow. Corporate greed is insane, because they're making less product, not as good quality, and almost double the price that it was just over a year ago. Almost double. Not quite there yet. I'm sorry, but if you add $4 to the chicken that was $7 a bag, you already you're $3 short of just charging me $14 instead of the $7 I was paying. I mean, I'm paying $11 now. I'm only $3 away from paying double. You know what I'm saying? It's just, that's an insane price jump, considering there's just as much out there than it was. And here's more evidence that it's all made up bullshit. It's just made up to try to top profit numbers. That's it. They don't want to pay the employees more. And then they have the balls to say, well, people are, yeah, because we're tired of your shit. We're not working as hard anymore. We're going to work what we're paid. One job, one pay. You're going to pay me to do 5 jobs, then you're going to pay me 5 salaries. Or you're going to at least work with me on paying me more than for just one job. If I can come in and do 5 jobs in your store, if I can be trained to do 5 different positions, shrink down to 1, then your pay should be more for people. And I know at least 20 years back is when they started taking, like for instance, if you went to a grocery store and you went to the meat department, the people you dealt with have been in the meat business for fucking ever. They know everything about the goddamn meat. And if you went to the produce department, they knew how you could grow fucking the biggest tomatoes you can grow because they're farmers too or whatever. They're really into produce. Now when you go into a grocery store and you go to these sections, this guy that worked in produce may have worked in the meat department. They're all interchangeable because they're all just people off the street. They don't really care about what, they might be really good at stocking and knowing about the product, but you know what I'm saying? It's they don't know everything about it, and they're not going to be there long, and they're going to be, so there's no real true professional in that department. In a store anymore. Anyway, so they took away that. They made everybody to where, and they, instead of paying more for that knowledge, then now they pay a flat rate for, you got what you get. You get less, you get not better customer service, but less customer service out of it. Some stores do still kind of push that. You'll notice them when you go in stores today. It's almost like going to a Lowe's and looking for an employee that knows anything about the department you're standing in. Good luck there. Every now and then you can get lucky. And you find someone that actually knows everything about everything in the store. Those are the true ones. So I'm not trying to knock everybody, but the majority is. It is what it is. You pay more, you get better out of something. You pay less, you're going to get the minimum. I don't know how they don't understand that, but the corporate greed is insane because all those record profits, do you think people get paid more? Do you think they pay out the employees? Do you think the people that are employed by these corporates, and now, there's only certain corporations, and there's very few, but they own thousands of businesses that we all think are individual corporations. Now, they really, if you start looking at how, like fast food chains and different other kind of companies, and if you follow the bank investors back up, it really narrows down to certain individual groups, and there's very few of them, and that mean they cover stuff like owning media companies. So then you're looking at the TVs all being owned by really one umbrella corporation, and then you start realizing that they buy out politicians with briberies and so forth, and investment stocks so they can make more money with inside trading, things like that, which are illegal. Why should a politician have any kind of stock interest in something that he regulates? That is just asinine thinking, but yet that is exactly what happens on a daily basis up in our Capitol building of this wonderful country of ours. And it pisses me off to know that they have this abundance of power, but they misuse it so obviously in front of everybody and then they turn around and want to charge and tax us more. And everything they can't do legally through the executive branch of our wonderful government of ours, they do it through corporate policies. In other words, if they can't mandate for something to happen, then they would make sure their corporate policies is if you want to work here, you have to do this. Now, a lot of people will defend that right, but when the corporations, there is a moral issue at that's our biggest problem here in this country. And I'm talking about none of that religious stuff. I'm not going there. I'm talking about fucking just be doing the right thing or not. If a company makes record profits, shouldn't they pay their employees more money? Or do you think they should pass that money on as bribes to politicians and pay off their CEOs who've had the job less time than the person that's been a manager for 20 plus years? Oh, the CEO came in last year. He earned an $8 billion bonus. He's worked for the company for a year and he gets a bonus, and I've been here 20, and I got a 401k that I can't access because, whatever fucking issue that I didn't meet, and you get to take it all away from me. I mean, there's so many loopholes and regulations and things done through corporate issues that it really has tainted the American dream, with its taking the very pride of capitalism, which is to make as much money as you can, and taking it into an overdrive of destruction, as it being our ultimate downfall from within. As a country with so much wealth spread out with millionaires and billionaires, it's funny how that the money isn't spread out enough. But it's usually through the corporate issues, and it makes me wonder if any of this money is even real. I mean, think about it. Seriously, shifting millions and billions of dollars back and forth to the point where it doesn't even exist. It's like, is that why they're afraid for us to one day just not to leave our homes and buy anything? Could you imagine if everybody just stayed home for one fucking day? What can we do about it? What's so wonderful about this episode to be staying super? You're just depressing me thinking about how this, yeah, because we don't do nothing about it. That's exactly my fucking point. It's just like the idea of having an open mind is a wonderful thing, and I know people need to see the changes out there, but you know what? If you live in this country, then, I believe you should be to live however you want and whatever, as long as you don't bother anybody. If you don't push yourself onto any other people, And I'm living in a country where people want to be accepted, so they're going to force people to accept them. You can't do that. You have to accept that people aren't going to accept you. There are certain types of people that will never accept you. And that's okay, because that's everybody. There's nobody excluded in that group. And that's a fact. Remember that. Remember that very well. That there's always going to be people out there that just hate you because you just simply exist. Okay, for whatever stupid reason they believe in to make, this tells me I must hate you. Urgh. That's a person that just explained to me how stupid they are. If you use any other person's reasonings, any other reasonings besides something that you came up with on your own, you are a brainwashed soul, and I have no pity. I don't care. If that's how you want to waste your life, so be it. Let that wet noodle in your head just stay limp. I don't know what to tell you. But I have been raised to question everything, even things that work out for me. I question it. I just don't trust it.